Sorry,
Everybody joining, what's good, what's good?
I had to fix my stuff, but hopefully y'all can.
Are you doing the washing style?
Yeah, I'm actually in the conditioning part, so I'm
Uh,
about to end it here soon. But
so how long you leave the conditioner in for, man?
so the way I do it, I'll brush it for like 10, 15 minutes, and then I'll leave it in about 15 minutes, and then I'll rinse it out.
Oh, okay.
But what I do is I steam it into my hair first before I rinse it out. It just
Mm.
allows because I'm low porosity, so it allows my hair to reap the benefits of what's actually in my conditioner bar.
Okay, so you mind telling the beginners why conditioning is so important, man? Because a lot of
Yeah,
us definitely don't condition. I don't condition when I'm washing.
yeah. So conditioning is important because when you're doing a washing style, you're still using shampoo. So shampoo is going to cleanse your hair.
Mm-hmm.
The conditioner is to add the nutrients and minerals and all that back to your hair and your scalp so that your hair grows healthy, it's shiny, all of that stuff. If you're not conditioning your hair, honestly, I suggest you do. Whether it's in the form of a conditioner bar, deep conditioning, or any sort of thing like that, even like a hot oil treatment is technically like conditioning your scalp in order to breed new hair growth and healthy hair growth.
Got you. So how do you do the hot oil treatment without your hair, being frizzy and everything? Because I wolf a lot. If I do hot oil treatment and I don't cover it up with a do-rag, my hair is gonna be frizzy because it's wet.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, usually when I do a hot oil treatment, I do it one of two ways. Usually I wear my curls out at least once a week before I do a washing style. So if I'm gonna do a washing style and I say, hey, I want to do a hot oil treatment, I use that as my pre-poo, which technically is to protect your scalp and your hair from the harshness of when you're using the shampoo. So when you're washing it and you're stripping your hair of its natural oils, the hot oil treatment is going to supplement that. So when you're washing it, you don't have to worry about, the natural oil stripping or anything like that because you already have your hair and your scalp protected.
Got you, got you. So you put the
So,
with the shampoo in your hair?
so no, I'll do it before I even shampoo my hair. So I wear my curls out. I'll get an oil of my choice, whether it's a jojoba, grapeseed, whatever oil is best for you. Use that one. I'll heat it up in like a cup or a glass,
Got you.
uh, like mug with hot water in it. But
Mm-hmm.
what you don't want to do, you do not want to microwave your oils. You want to heat up
Micro.
water in a separate container, whether it's a plastic cup or a glass mug, whatever the case may be, because when you heat up the oils, you're taking out the potency of the oil, so you're not going to reap the benefits of it.
Got you.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So I'll give you an example real quick. So let's say you use this oil right here. You'll take this bottle and let's say you use this red Solo cup. You'll
mm-hmm.
fill it up with hot water. You'll sit in there and let it sit for like 5 minutes. Let the oil heat up. Once the oil heats up, what I'll do is I'll take the dropper and I'll actually apply it to my scalp, so I'm really getting deep down to the the nitty gritty and the roots. And I'll scalp massage for about 5 minutes to stimulate blood flow, and then I'll let it sit for about 15 to 20. I'll rinse my hair out, and then I'll go into the washing style process. Now, you can still choose to condition your hair after you do a hot oil treatment, but you don't necessarily need to because the hot oil treatment is there to supplement that conditioning process, if you get what I mean.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So, another question. So when you do all of this, the conditioning, the hot oil treatment, you get dry scalp sometimes, right?
Yeah.
How how
I've
how
experienced
long
that.
after your conditioning or after hot oil does the dry scalp kind of come back?
So for me, um, typically, my scalp won't really like need moisture or start to get dry until like a week after I
Oh, a whole
complete that
week.
process. Yeah,
Oh,
so a whole week.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so me personally, I say the goal is when it comes to waves is to master your moisture process.
Mm-hmm.
However that works for you, like absorbing moisture into your hair, however that works for you. For me, I'm low porosity, so I have to use indirect heat. I have to use certain products that will allow that will link onto my hair follicles, and it's
Gotcha.
not going to weigh on my hair. It's actually going to get deep down to my hair follicles, into my scalp, so that I'm reaping the benefits.
Gotcha.
And it varies from porosity to porosity, but for me, I figured mine out pretty much, I would say, well on after I was into waves, because I started waves in
Mm-hmm.
2017, but I didn't really get heavy into like washing and styling, hot oil treatments, or any of that until like 2019, 2020. So after that, that's when I started learning, okay, what porosity means, how I need to treat my hair, how often do I need to be washing it, how often do I need to be putting products in it, because it varies for different people. Everybody has different curl
Yeah.
patterns, textures, porosities, all of that stuff. But all of that plays a factor into getting healthier
Got
hair, because
you. Got you.
that's my biggest thing that I preach to people is healthy hair, because the healthier your hair is, the easier you can manage
Hmm.
it. And with waves, they lay down curls. So if you manage your curls well, you can transition it into your waves if that's what you decide to do.
And for people that don't know how to, figure out their porosity or what porosity is, you mind explain that to them?
Yeah. So um, there's a simple way you can do it. Now, disclaimer, make sure that if you're going to do this test, your hair is completely clean. That means there's no products in it, no oils, no butters, no nothing. Your scalp is completely clean. You take a strand of hair and you place it in distilled water. So what this is going to do is you're going to be able to see where your hair floats. So if it sits at the top, that means you have low porosity. What that means is your hair does not absorb moisture very well,
Question:
but it will.
how long do you wait till it shows you where it sits? Do you wait a certain amount of time, or does it just tell you
I,
your
I would
porosity
I
right
would
now?
say wait about 2 to 5 minutes
Okay.
roughly and see where the hair is at. Again, if it sits on the top, that means you have low porosity. What that means is that your hair follicle is the cuticle. Sorry, they're naturally tighter than what they usually would be if they were normal when they're open, and the products can absorb and lock to your cuticles. But with low porosity, your cuticles are tight. So also one way you can tell is when you spray water on your hair, if it beads up and it's taking your hair a long time to absorb the water, more likely than not, you have low porosity hair. So, what was I going to say? That's why the heat is very well, because what the heat is going to do is going to open up that cuticle so that when you apply products like your oils and your butters and your moisturizers, it's getting down to that cuticle, and then your cuticle is naturally going to seal up again. That's why
Mhm.
you really want to master that moisture method, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to notice that your hair is going to look a different color. It's going to look like a grayish color. You can tell when your hair is very dull, it's dry, it doesn't have a lot of moisture in it.
Mhm.
So I've experienced that too. There's times when I didn't brush my hair for days, and I'll look at it and it does not look as shiny
Yeah.
and as healthy as it normally would. So with that, you want to make sure that you're mastering your moisture method, learn that porosity. So moving on to the next one, normal porosity, you'll see the hair kind of just sit in the middle. So what that means is your cuticles are naturally open like this. They're not super tight, they're not super close. So you'll absorb and retain moisture normally at a very well rate. High porosity is you'll absorb moisture very fast,
Yeah.
but you won't retain it as well
Got
because that cuticle is a lot looser. So it's
you.
like
Mhm.
this. So the water will get down, but it won't link to that follicle. It'll leave. So as far as high porosity goes, I don't know what the method is as far as sealing the moisture in,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I haven't really read much into that. But I do know for normal and low porosity, it's going to be dependent on the products that you use, especially like for me, I'm really big on oils. So certain oils I can't use because it's going to sit on top of my hair. And what
Got
that does is going to cause product buildup. And what you'll notice is like the product buildup, it's not dandruff. It's going to look like this like white filmy type of stuff. Your hair is going to get very itchy.
you.
And you're
Mhm.
going to be like, why is that happening? What's happening is the product, again, it's not absorbing to the hair
Got you.
cuticle, so it's sitting on top of it. And if you're piling too much on it, your hair is going to get weighed down. And then what happens is you'll get oil buildup, and that's where that white stuff is coming from. Because
Got
the
you.
sebum from our hair is our natural oils that create hair growth.
Okay.
So when you're adding products on top of that and you're mixing oils with oils, all you're going to do is get buildup, and that's where you get that white
Got you. So
stuff.
how would you tell the beginners not to stay away from that buildup because of the natural oils that you already have in your hair? What would you tell them to not not have a lot?
So I would say personally get on a well routine with your hair.
Mhm.
So that means everything has to be in tandem. I say don't apply products more than twice a week personally,
There we go.
unless there's one method that I personally use that works for me. Now this isn't gonna work for everybody, but it's a 3-day method. Basically, what happens is I'll wash my hair. Whenever I rinse it, my hair will be shiny, nice, laid. I'm not really trying to move much from that day of the wash,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll apply a light oil to my hair and I'll soft brush it in, and then I'll steam it in to allow that product to get to my scalp. Then the next day, I'll apply a light butter to my hair. Um, for everybody, it's different. I have a different assortment of butters under my sink that I choose from depending on how long my hair is. If my hair is a lot lower, I'm not going to use something super heavy. I want to use something lighter because I want my hair to be able to still breathe. So I'll apply butter the next day. Now, this is optional. The third day, me personally, I use oil-based moisturizers. If I use a water-based moisturizer, it's only when I'm doing stuff like this, like washing my hair.
Gotcha.
But never just normally, because if I put a water-based moisturizer on my hair, it's just gonna
Yeah.
poof up.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Especially
yeah.
if you're wolfing, right?
So I use the oil-based because it's still gonna give you that moisture that you want, but it's not the hydration you want from water.
Gotcha.
But your hair's still gonna be moisturized. So
Gotcha.
don't trip on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I add a little bit, not a lot, just a little dime size amount of moisturizer.
Yep.
I'll put it in my hair, brush it in, rag up, and boom. That's all I need for the rest of that week until it's time to wash my hair again.
Yep.
So
And
I'm
how
not
often do
putting
you
no
wash your hair a week?
one time a
Once a
week.
week? Okay,
Unless I'm
that's
woofing. If I'm woofing, it's 2 times a week.
gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to add is I stopped using moisturizers, right? So from my experience, so all the beginners that's watching right now, it's two different experiences. So from my experience, I realized when I put products in my hair, it starts stinking in about three days.
I
So I'm like,
no, I know exactly what you're
yeah,
talking
so I'm like,
about.
I'm not using those products no more.
Yeah,
So
I
I
know
started
exactly what you're
using
talking about.
organic coconut oil that I cook with. I started using black seed oil that I take every morning. I drink it every morning, and then
Mm-hmm.
my hair it wasn't stinking no more, and it was just I usually get my dry scalp back in like 3 4 days. And I could probably say I go 5 days, 6 days without having dry scalp if I just if I comb every day because when you
Yeah,
comb it kind of helps a little bit too.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I could almost go a week without dry scalp with the
Mm-hmm.
organic products, but I'm still learning along the way. So that's from my experience. And like you said, a little goes a long way. So I always use a little bit, and I don't moisturize every day neither. A lot of people always moisturize and adding pomades and everything, especially beginners, and then they start having pimples on their. I went through that
Yeah,
stage. I used to have mad pimples because
I
I used to
remember
use
the
so many.
stage.
I used to moisturize every single day,
Me
bro.
too.
Every time I used to do my brush sessions, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why we here. We teaching the beginners. You don't have to moisturize every day. You definitely brush every. You could brush without adding products. If you
And
want to, just add a little bit of oil,
that's the
but you don't have to
goal.
moisturize every day. And another
That
thing I realized is when you use hard brush, the hard brush, one day I was brushing, I'm like, my hair is so dry right now, bro. I got to moisturize again. That's when I used to moisturize every day. My hair looked dry, but then I started using a hard brush, and all of a sudden my hair was moist. I'm like,
yeah,
how?
'cause it's pulling
Yo,
those curls. It's
that's when
really
I
getting deep
realized,
down. Yeah, exactly.
yo, that's crazy.
So there was something you just said about what was it? Not natural products. It was God dang, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I can't remember what you just said. It was something I was gonna add a good point to it. Dang, I'm mad I forgot.
I was talking about black seed oil, coconut oil,
Yeah,
moisturizing,
it
a
was
little bit
after
goes a long
that.
way. Not moisturizing every day.
Yeah, there you go. Not moisturizing every day because you don't want the product
Yeah.
buildup. And oh no, I remember what it was. It was
Okay.
like your hair not being product dependent.
Okay.
That's
What
what
that
it
mean?
was. That was a very good point that you brought up because I'm really big on that too. Like when it comes to waves, it's all about training your curls to lay down.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that down, trust me, the process is going to be so much smoother. But if you're being product dependent and you're depending on a product to lay your hair down, and you notice, let's say after a good woof, you cut it off and you're back brushing, and your hair starts getting long, and you're like, wait a minute, I can't manage it as well as I did before.
Yeah.
You got to wean yourself slowly off of using products so much and brush your hair because again these products are going to work the longer that you use them. So you're going to reap the benefits as long as you're using it over, I'll say like a month
Yeah.
span. And
Yeah.
you'll start to notice your hair is going to look different. And when it looks different, it's also going to be different managing it and
Yep.
brushing it and all that other stuff. You're going to notice like, hey, I can actually run a comb through it and my head doesn't hurt because my
Exactly.
curls are still so
Yeah.
tight or anything like that. So yeah, don't become product dependent. Honestly, don't apply products more than I would say 2 times a week
I agree.
because
Yeah.
you don't. It's gonna make your process a
And
lot harder than
when
actually.
you say products 2 times a week, what type of products you talking about? Just oils or oils and moisturizer and pomade or just moisturizer? Do you add all three or do you just pick
So
one?
for me, if I'm not doing the process I just explained, I'll do what's called an
Mm-hmm.
OMB, which is coined from the Curly Hair Community LLC Liquid Oil Cream. It's the same process. It's just different lettering. So I'll do oil, moisturizer, and butter. But
Okay.
again, I'm not using a lot of each
Gotcha.
product. I'm only using a little bit because it's still gonna go a long way with the products. You don't have to use a whole palm size full of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Trust me, you only need a little bit, and it's gonna take your hair where it needs to be.
Gotcha.
But the another point that you made that I also agreed with is like sometimes after I use certain products, like my hair, that like it's a certain smell
Mm-hmm.
that you get, and I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't for me. So
Exactly.
that's part of the trial and error process. Even me, like I've been doing this for years, but I still go through trial and errors with my pattern and maximizing my hair health and everything like that. So don't think because I've been doing this for a long time that I don't experience adversity and
Yeah.
hardships as well. Because it definitely does happen, and there's definitely times where I get lazy and I don't want to brush. There's times where I don't want to make content or whatever the case may be, but that's where the discipline and the
Yep.
consistency comes in.
Exactly.
That's where you guys, that's one of the biggest things I preach because at the end of the day, this stuff takes time.
Mm.
I've been on this pattern for almost 2 years and I'm not
What
flawless
pattern
yet.
is it? What pattern you got now?
So it's like a hybrid pattern. I'll say it's like a 360, 540 swirl.
Okay.
Only reason I say that is because like my right side it drops a lot more than my left. My left is a lot more straight.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So that's
And
where the
how's your
540
crown? Is
part.
it a swirl or a beehive? What is it
It's
like?
a swirl.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I got a swirl now. I don't have a beehive like I used to. But
Gotcha.
yeah, no, I experience hardships all the time with my pattern or whatever the case may be. But that's where consistency, discipline, and routine comes in because when you're doing it when you don't want to is when you're actually making the most progress. If I did something when I'm happy all the time, then I'm just gonna only want to do things when I feel happy, not when I don't feel like doing something. So
Gotcha.
when I don't feel like brushing my hair, guess what? I'm not gonna not brush my hair. I may not brush as long as I
I
usually
want to say
do.
something
Like I'll brush for
about that.
30 minutes
I want to say
and
something
I'll
about
be fine.
So sometimes I don't feel like brushing, man. I'm like, bro,
Hmm.
I don't feel like brushing today. I'm like, dang, let me just do 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Bro, I'll be in that bathroom for 45 minutes. As soon as I pick
exactly.
it
You
up,
look, you
I'm
like,
like,
dang,
yo.
I didn't.
So
And that's
all
what
the
I mean by
beginners out there,
routine.
just 2 minutes will get you 15, 20 minutes,
Trust
bro.
me,
Because you'll be like, yo, let me just lay this part down a little bit. And you
trust
just
me.
keep
Look,
going. It happens every time,
put
bro.
on some
It's
music,
crazy.
put on a podcast, put
Yeah,
on the audio. It does not matter.
just brush.
Whatever
Two
it
minutes.
takes to get in your zone, trust me,
Yeah,
do it
man.
because man, as much as people may comment about the wave community and all that other stuff, it's not only brought me great relationships on my real life, but it's
Yeah.
also helped me again be more disciplined and consistent and all of that other stuff in other aspects of my life too, like the gym,
Mm-hmm.
like making content, like anything else like that. So again, that's the biggest thing that I like to push to beginner waivers whenever you guys approach my DMs is a couple
Yeah.
things. One, do your own research,
Mm-hmm.
please, for the love of God, because I can easily come online and tell you I use Dawn soap to wash my waves, and you guys would
Man.
probably believe me. But I'm not that type of guy. But you get what I'm saying? Like some of you guys would take me for face value instead of being like, "Wait, Dawn soap? That don't all right. Let me do a quick YouTube search, or let me do a quick Google search on 360 waves and see what comes up, and even TikTok because they're just as big for SEO as Google and YouTube are. You can search up 360 Waves now and you find
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. So that's also an app that you can use as well in order to find more information on stuff like this
Exactly.
because if you're not doing your research and you're taking things for face value, then trust me, somebody might lead you down the wrong path,
Yeah.
and I don't want that for
But
any of
experience is the best teacher, though. You know.
yeah, yeah, and that
Definitely.
is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
I would say also the other thing I experienced a lot of my DMs that I would patience. It's not instant.
Hmm.
This is not instant at all. Okay.
How
I've
long you
only
think? How long would you tell them it's gonna take to, to really start seeing real progress?
real progress. I would say if you're
Past the ripple,
past
and
ripples,
yeah,
I would say around if you're consistently brushing, woofing, and all of that stuff properly, I would say around like the 6 to 8 month mark, you'll start to see things start to connect a lot
gotcha.
more. You'll start to see if you're really focusing on your crown, you'll start to see that form a lot more because um, even me, like when I scalped, I really honestly didn't see progress till after a year.
Oh, where?
And this is progress in my definition as far as
Okay,
what I was achieving with my pattern. So for me, my biggest thing was my last pattern, my crown wasn't very good. So this pattern, I really made sure that my crown was on point. But right now, my crown's not the problem. Now it's my connection. So I gotta fix some ports. I gotta fix some flow issues.
got a quick question. So for the beginners that's starting waves, what would you tell them to start off with? Just brushing their angles or just their crown? And if it's their crown, what is easier, a beehive or a swirl?
Two very good questions. One, I would say focus on your angles
Okay.
because all of that's gonna flow together when your pattern comes more along.
Hmm.
Two, with the crown, see, I've had both, and I'll say they both have their own struggles. So with
Gotcha.
beehive, the struggle is breaking your natural swirl because everybody has one, whether it's clockwise or
Yep. Yep.
counterclockwise. Breaking that natural swirl in order to make that ripple effect with your crown,
Hmm.
with those rings, that's the hardest part. I've only seen a handful of people able to achieve that nice, dang near dime-sized crown where they
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
ring going all the way into the inner circle. Now with the swirl, I would say the hardest part was a couple of things. One, learning the motion on how to properly swirl
Mhm.
your crown. Because I was like, when I first started, I was over swirling it. And I
Got
can see it in the way my pattern was developing. I was like, slow down. Let's look at it from a different angle. So instead of over swirling it, I really I look at how my waves flow in my crown, and that's how I brush it. So
gotcha.
my crown is offset to the left, which is very crazy, but yeah, my crown is like right
Yeah.
here, and it's a lot different than your typical like traditional center crown
Yeah.
because my left side is what I call my short side. My right side, I really had to carry these angles all the way from my crown to over here.
And which
So
one's your weak side?
my right side is my weak
Yeah,
side.
that's the wider side, right?
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
wider side, and that's the hardest part is getting like the waves to straighten out in order for it to all flow the correct way.
Okay.
But with the swirl crown, it was the over swirling and what was I gonna say? Like over swirling and flow. The
Gotcha.
flow of
Gotcha.
your crown when it comes to a swirl, getting everything to flow into that small little
Gotcha.
dot around the
Yeah.
crown,
Yeah.
getting all the ways to flow into that one center point. It's probably been very tough for
Hmm.
me. Now that my pattern's a lot better, I don't have to really worry about my crown because it's really at a point where it's really good. So I put more focus to my connections than I do
Okay.
my crown now. So
Gotcha.
when I woof, that's my focus. My focus is okay. I'm woofing to better my connections and to get my flow to be perfect to match what my crown is showing out of the
Okay.
crown.
I got another question. So for the beginners coming in, what would be
Mhm.
the foundation? What would you tell them to do first? They just got a 1.5 cut and they ready to get waves. What would be your first thing to tell them?
My first thing would be before you even start brushing, identify what pattern you want. There's a
Mhm.
lot of times where I get a lot of people who come to my DMs and be like, I want your pattern. And then a couple days later, they'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, no, I want a
Yeah.
beehive. Like,
Yeah.
no, trust me, you have to choose one or the other because if you keep switching angles and you don't know what you want, you're just going to get discouraged. That was what I did when I scalped because when I scalped, I really was paying attention to the way my hair was growing, where my crown was at, all of that stuff. And I said my hair and my head shape fits better for a swirl pattern
Hmm.
versus for a beehive personally. And that goes for everybody. I've seen plenty of people who've had patterns that don't fit their head shape. So your pattern's going to come out a certain way with your head shape.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to realize is that certain head shapes are better for certain patterns. For me, it was a swirl. For other people, it's a beehive. Me personally, I don't think I probably won't be going back to beehive
Gotcha.
anytime soon. I'll probably be swirl for the rest of the time that I have waves. But yeah, I would say really focus on what pattern you want. Once you know what you want, that's when you start brushing your angles. That's when you hit up YouTube, you hit up
Gotcha.
TikTok,
Gotcha.
you hit up
Gotcha.
all these people who have the pattern that you want, remember,
Yeah.
and you get good advice on what angles you should be brushing, like what should I really be focusing on? Is it my crown? Is it my connections? Is it my flow or any of that stuff? But for for me, if you came in my DMs right now as a beginner and you knew what pattern you want, let's say you want a 360 beehive, then what I would do is I would show you the 360 beehive angles, or I would recommend you very top tier beehive wavers who know that pattern up and down, who can tell you like the struggles of it, what you need to watch out for, the proper angles you need to be hitting, all of that stuff, and how to hit your crown, because that's another really big thing that I get is how do you brush your crown, and I think that's something that a lot of swirl wavers really don't talk about. I've seen a couple, but not a lot actually go into depth with how you break down the inner crown versus the outer crown with the swirl, how you really get those waves to flow into that singularity dot
Yeah.
where your crown is at.
Gotcha. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and another question. You earlier you said when you wolf and you wash and style twice a week. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
did you say you wash and style twice a week, or you moisturize twice a week?
No, I wash the style
When
twice a week. When
you
I
wolf, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you wash? How often do you usually wash, like in general?
In general, I wash once a week.
And then when you're wolfing, you said twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you wash twice a week when you're wolfing?
So I wash twice a week because my hair grows really
Mm-hmm.
fast, and the washing style, it helps lay your hair down
Uh-huh.
when you're woofing,
Exactly.
as long as you're doing it the right way.
Question. What helps lay your hair down? The washing style or the lather? Bro.
We know what it is, lather. It's
I be telling
lather.
y'all, man, lather.
What I do, I have a plastic container where when I'm brushing, whether it's with my detangler brush or whatever brush I'm using, I'll take off all of that and I'll save it for afterwards, because that's the most important part. When you're styling, you don't want to be drowning in lather because you can't see your angles.
I even said that too in one of my videos.
I saw your video. I watched it.
Yo, everybody was coming crazy at me. They're like, wait, what?
No.
I've been bamboozled. You always talk about lather.
Lather is a good thing, but it's mainly good because it lays down your hair. And
too much of something is bad. So
hard brush for a wash. Exactly. Yes. See,
wait. No, the hard brush for a wash and stop when you're wolfing.
Yeah, when you're wolfing. Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell my
beginners
to start using hard brushes.
On like a 2.
Then
You
scalp
want to keep that like a
bleeding.
medium. You want to keep that scalp healthy.
Yeah. I think I'm like 12, 11 weeks wolfing right now. I just started using a hard brush, and it still hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just started. So when you're like 6 weeks wolfing, don't touch that hard brush yet.
Yeah.
You're gonna start
I usually use a medium hard brush.
Wave
I'll be just fine when it comes to that. I don't really touch a hard brush unless I'm wolfing like super heavy. For the most part, I keep it like 6 to 8 weeks and then I cut my hair down.
Yep.
But if I do want to like extend it to like 12 weeks, then at 6 weeks I'll trim it so that it's not a fresh cut, but it's still more manageable than it was before I trimmed it. And then I'll go the next 6 weeks and then I'll end up cutting it down.
And when you cut it down, what's your hair texture? Like medium, right?
Yeah, like so medium.
What would you tell the medium texture wavers to cut their hair down to?
Personally, what I've cut down to after a wolf, and it's been the best results, is like a 2.5 or a 3. I would.
And why not a 1.5?
Well, you're gonna cut all your waves out. So when it comes to 1.5, I like cutting to 1.5 periodically. This is not often. I cut to a 1.5 maybe like a couple of times a year, and it's usually in the summer because I don't like having a lot of hair in the summer. So I'll keep my hair low.
You're not even a beginner, so you're able to.
Yeah, and that too. When you're beginning, you're setting your foundation. So you don't want to, let's say you go on a 3 month wolf and you cut it down to 1.5, you're not really going to see much
Exactly.
progress. You want to build your hair up to be thicker because the thicker your hair, the longer your curls, the deeper your waves.
Exactly.
And that's how it goes. You don't
Yeah.
want to build that depth and then cut it all off because you cut it down lower than your curl
Mm-hmm.
length. You either want to keep your hair at curl length or just right above it. That's
Exactly.
going to be your range for developing connections, depth, all of that, and your overall
Mm-hmm.
foundation. Now, the more experience you get and the better your waves get and you get closer to elite status, then if you want to cut your hair down to a 1.5 every once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead. But if you're just beginning, I wouldn't recommend cutting down to a 1.5 or
Exactly.
anything below for
Yeah.
that matter,
I,
for any
I be
texture
trying to tell
person.
them, man. I be trying to tell them, stop cutting down to 1.5. If your barber cut you down to 1.5, they doing you dirty. But they become
Yeah.
crazy at me in the comments,
And
man.
I think it's because, we're in a time where it's more about like clipping people and taking things out of
Yeah.
context. I
Yeah.
think people didn't understand he's talking about beginners. He's not talking about somebody who's experienced. He's
Exactly.
talking about somebody who just came in the game and
Mm-hmm.
they want their pattern to be good. No, you shouldn't be cutting down to
Definitely not,
1.5.
right?
I agree. Yeah.
Thank you.
I check my waves again and I never take sweet bounce. See, at least an hour a day,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
gonna
and
come in.
beginners. A lot of beginners think that when we say brush sessions, they think we're talking about 5 minutes a day.
No.
How long should your brush session be in order to become elite?
Elite,
Like elite.
I would honestly say you need to be brushing at least 1 to 2 hours a day.
And when you say 1 to 2, break it down for them. Like what
So you can
beginners?
break it down a couple different ways. If I say 1 hour, that's two 30-minute sessions.
Exactly.
So I wake up in the morning
Yeah.
and I do a 30-minute session, and then before I go to bed, I do a 30-minute session.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah.
Or you can do a 45-minute session and a 15-minute session.
Yeah.
However you want to break it down like that. And when it comes to 2 hours, you just break it down even more. So for 2 hours, that's what? Four, four, how much? I think it's like five or something 30-minute brush
Yep.
sessions, but you break it down into smaller increments with different
Gotcha.
brushes or what. Me personally, yes. I don't brush with
Oh yeah,
a
definitely
medium
different
hard
brushes.
brush when I first wake
Hmm.
up versus when I like when I'm about to go to bed. 20 minutes in the morning, 46.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want to explain something too when you finish talking.
Oh no, you can go
Okay,
ahead.
so when I brush when I say personally when I say to brush 2 hours a day or 45 minutes, whenever I just put a number out there, I say 1 hour. If you're doing a 1 hour session, that's at least 3 brushes. If you're doing a 2 hour session, that's like 4 brushes in a comb.
Mm-hmm.
So the hours, when you see them hours, I'm not talking about just using one brush. Whenever if I say 25 minutes like a morning routine, a soft brush
Yeah,
and a medium
exactly.
brush. A 2 hour session, that's a comb. You comb to 15 minutes. You do a hard brush session to get down to the scalp. You do a
Mm-hmm.
medium hard. You do a medium brush to start laying down the hair. You do a soft brush, lay down the hair all the way. Then you do a plastic bag, and then you rag up. That's like a 2 hour session right there. If you
Yeah,
go
that's a
15, 20
solid,
minutes
that's a
each
solid
brush,
session.
that's what I mean. So I don't ever mean just do one brush that jump for
Yeah,
two
no,
hours.
no,
So
no.
beginners, man, when y'all come into the game, and if I ever tell you 1 hour session, that's like 3 brushes, medium, soft, hard, and all these brushes have
Benefits?
different benefits. So
Yeah,
a hard
yeah.
brush is for when you're wolfing and you can't touch, like you can't reach down to the scalp with a soft brush.
Mm-hmm.
So you need that hard brush to get down there, and that hard brush is gonna help you get deeper definition and everything. And then
Mm-hmm.
the medium brush at a wolf, it's kind of like a soft brush. It's gonna help you lay the
Yeah.
hair down, but kind of help you progress a little bit.
Yeah,
And then the
exactly.
soft brush is gonna help you get that that nice lay and that nice
Mm-hmm.
shine, and the plastic bag is gonna add that shine to it. And you
Yep.
rag up double compress, that's when you get that nice silky effect,
Mm-hmm.
super light hair. And even if when you wet your do rag, just like a washing style, after you unrag, you see that
Yeah,
nice
very, very much
silkiness.
cheat code.
Yeah, when you wet that do rag, you rag up double compress, it's gonna give you that nice washing style effect
Mm-hmm.
without doing the
Exactly.
washing style. So that's from
Exactly.
my experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I learned that method from RG3. She's not in the
yeah,
game anymore currently, but she's the one who showed me the cold wet do rag
yeah,
method. And when I
yeah.
learned that, I was like, yeah. this was a cheat code because not
Exactly.
only does it give you that nice shine,
Hmm.
but it's gonna help weigh that hair down
And
too.
it's gonna help mold the hair down.
Exactly,
Yeah, just like
exactly. That's
washing
what you
style
want.
does.
That's what you want. So whenever you finish off your brush session or your washing style, you want to make sure that your hair is in a place that you can say, if I mold it right now, is it going
Uh-huh.
to be good? If
Yep.
that's not the case, then you might need to tweak a little, couple angles or whatever the case may be, lay a couple more hairs down. But
Exactly.
no, you definitely want to make sure before you put that do rag on for the night or whatever the case may be, that your hair is in a place where when you say I'm gonna unrag now. It's
Uh-huh.
gonna be good.
And
And you can.
another thing about double compression, sometimes I get headaches. You know, I double compress.
Yeah.
If I'm wolfing, I'm a tie it hard. I'm tired to do rag on. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever I start getting those headaches, I take off the first layer. So any beginners out there, you start getting headaches, take off that first layer and don't go to sleep with a double compression. I don't think, because I feel like what's gonna happen if if you double compress and you got a headache through the whole night? Something bad
Yeah.
gonna happen,
You
man.
might you might mess around and take your do rag off, or you might loosen it, or whatever the case may be. Because some people do that during their sleep, and your rag falls off, and now you gotta
Not
you
even
know
that. Like even
wash.
double compression, that might be dangerous. Going to sleep with a double compression. Like when I say double compression, like I mean like tying the first do rag super tight, or even throwing another do rag. I like doing two do rags because I get super compressed. But if I do like a do rag and a wave cap, I don't
Yeah.
think that's
So with the
enough
wave caps,
compression.
it's hard because there's not a lot of wave caps that are very comfortable
Yeah.
when you double compress. Quick question for you, Conte. Do y'all perform for? I don't have an actual camera, so I can't even tell you.
Uh,
But I just upgraded my phone,
let me
so
let me try to answer that. It's a quick
yeah. Go
question
ahead.
for wave content. Do y'all prefer phone cameras or do y'all think an actual camera would take my videos to the next level? Honestly, I record with a iPhone camera with the back camera, and social media like TikToks and Instagrams, they like that better because even if you use a 4K professional camera and you record in 4K, whenever you upload it on Instagram or TikTok, it drops it down to 1080. So
Yeah,
you don't have to get a camera. You could use your phone. You know, I use my phone for all my videos, well, most of my videos. But I use a camera once in a blue moon. But I wouldn't say a camera is better than a phone. You know, for
yeah. I
Instagram,
just
TikTok.
I just got the iPhone 14, so I don't
Yeah, you just
need
use
a
the back
camera.
camera, man. That junk is
Yeah,
fire.
the camera. Trust me. Yeah, the camera quality is
Yeah,
amazing. Honestly, on if you have an iPhone like 12 or up, you don't need a camera.
yeah,
The camera
exactly.
that
And
you have is
also
gonna be good enough.
use 4K 60 frames per second. That's
Hmm.
gonna help a lot. So yeah,
I use my phone. I'm looking to invest in a camera this month. That's
yeah,
first. I'm mainly looking to invest in an iPad.
yeah.
I don't need a camera. That's the iPad is the biggest thing. Yeah, because
Got you, got
of like designs and stuff. When I use Procreate, you can create a whole bunch of stuff in
you,
there.
got you,
Yeah.
man. But yeah,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
got any other things you want to add? You know, what kind of shampoo bar is that, man?
So this is my
Got
personal
you.
tropical punch conditioner bar.
So it's a conditioner. So okay, so a lot of us
Yeah.
don't know how to make conditioner lather. Does that have good lather as a conditioner?
Yes,
Okay,
and if you don't believe me, I will personally make a video so that
got you.
y'all see this bar does lather, and yes, the benefits
Hey,
are
man,
amazing. I would not lie to you if
where can we get that at, man?
where you can get it at. You can get it at
Got you.
wavepapi.com. If you use code SAVE10 right now, you'll save 10% off your first purchase. We
What's the
got
code?
bars SAVE10,
Spell it out so I could write it on the screen for them.
SAVE10.
Save 10. Okay,
Yeah, the S is
got
capital.
you. Capital Save 10. Okay. Oh yes. Now that we talking about lather, I want to say something about lather earlier that I forgot to say. A lot of people made fun of me about it and told me that I'm just making stuff up now, right? So from my experience, about 6 years waving now, I
Hmm.
realized when you have, so you know how my lather scale goes, right? Immaculate is
Yeah,
beginner, lavish is
yeah.
second, um, immaculate, lavish, royal. No, 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 no. Immaculate, lavish, royal, latherlicious, impeccable, right?
Hmm.
So impeccable is like the best lather ever. So
Yeah.
if you add royal to impeccable or latherlicious, the the
Wow.
brush, what the brush does is it starts hydroplaning. You know how the cars
Yeah.
hydroplane over
Starts
the.
sliding. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not
Glide.
touching your hair.
Yeah.
It's just gliding over. And people are like, yo, you making stuff up now. I'm like, bro, come on, man. I've been doing
Nah,
this for
I know. I
a
know
long
exactly
time.
what you mean.
So that's where like I told them not to use too much lather but just enough at the right time. If you're doing the detangler brush, you can use as much lather as you want.
Yeah.
But when it comes to styling, yeah, you need to see your wave. You
Exactly.
need to see what you're doing. So you probably drop down to lavish, probably immaculate lather. If you had immaculate, your hair will probably start to frizz up. If you don't have no lather at all, it's gonna start to frizz up. It's not gonna lay down the way you want. So I say you stay around lavish, just enough lather. And then when you're laying it down with your palm, or getting ready to rag up, go back up to royal. Add as much lather as you can so you can mold it down.
So you can mold that hair out.
I try to tell them. They're like, yo, you really making stuff up now, bro. Like, you talking about hydroplaning this? I'm like, all right, bro, go ahead.
So I personally condition at least once a week.
Okay.
To keep my hair and scalp healthy.
And now that you just said you got a conditioner that lathers, the reason I don't use conditioner is because it doesn't lather and it makes my hair frizzy, and I don't like having frizzy hair before I rag up. So I stopped using conditioner. Yeah, but if you have that conditioner bar that lathers, I might try that out, and if it lathers really good, I might start conditioning my hair, man. Get some healthy hair.
We gonna talk in the DMs. We gonna talk in the DMs after this.
Sure.
But
and you said save 10, right? Capital S save 10 on wavepapi.com, right? Put that on the screen. All my beginners, go get your conditioner bars if you guys want to condition your hair, which is very important. I know I don't condition my hair, but it's very important. So go get that. Get your royal lather. You feel me? Lay the hair down and condition your scalp, man. It's very important. Because the shampoo strips the oils away. The conditioner adds the nutrients back.
Yep.
So definitely.
Exactly. That's exactly it. That's the exact process. And here I'll show a deep conditioner that I personally use that I really like. There it is. That and I don't use this every week, but this I'll use before I start my washing styles. If I want to use like a deep conditioner like this, it's from Shea Moisture. It has manuka honey in it, which is it's a humectant, so it's gonna absorb moisture from the air. And then it has what else? Fig extract and what else? Baobab oil. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's a very good conditioning oil.
Gotcha.
Puts the days up. Do you like doing? Yeah, I try to stay on as best schedule as possible when it comes to washing my hair. So I'll do it same days every week just so I don't lose like the consistency of it. But
it's hard to do the same days every week though.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't always work out like that.
Yeah, I tell people to wash every 4 days. If you wash Monday, wash again Thursday or Friday. If you wash Friday, wash again Tuesday. If you wash Tuesday, wash again Saturday. Every 4 days, just wash your hair. Especially go ahead.
Once your hair gets on a schedule, your hair is gonna tell you when it needs to be washed.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's gonna let you know, like, hey, nah, I need to be washed. I need to be washed bad. Oh no, that's the same comment. How many times?
We've been on live for like 45 minutes, man. We about to end real soon. Any other last questions you guys got? We're gonna try to answer for y'all. Hopefully you guys got some great knowledge from this video. Both of us different experiences, different everything. So you guys learn from both of our experiences, different journey and everything.
So personally, what I do after I get like either like a lineup or a tape or anything like that, I usually use a soft brush just because I want to keep the line in my taper as crisp as possible.
Okay.
If you want to get those loose hairs out, take you a microfiber towel, get you some cold water, you bring it out, and you wipe your hair down and get rid of all them loose hairs.
I got something to say about that.
Go ahead.
If you get a fresh cut and you want to get rid of the loose hair, just keep it in your hair for that day, man.
Or
just keep that in there.
You could do that because I don't always use the towel, but that's something that I do if I see a lot of loose hairs and I'm like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. I'll just use a quick.
Try to get rid of most of them with that soft brush. And another thing I want to say too, don't use a medium soft or even a medium brush after a fresh cut for like 2 to 3 days, because if you do, I got like this dark spot, like it was like a little scratch. I scratched my hairline because I just got to shape up, and I scratched my hairline with the bristle, and it was like it started scabbing up and jumping. So I'm like, So don't use a medium brush. Don't use a medium soft. Try to use the softest brush that you have, or just don't brush for 2 days. Or if you do brush, don't go to the hairline. because
Yeah.
you're gonna have
Take
that
it
first.
right, like
Yeah.
right before you pass it right up.
And
How long after
when do you
that you
suggest they
don't?
wash their hair after the haircut? Because I know I
So,
wash my hair right
per,
before my haircuts.
oh yeah,
So when do you
yeah, yeah.
wash
So
after?
right before I get a haircut, and this goes for anybody, you should be washing your hair for
Mhm.
multiple reasons. One,
Yeah.
if you have a whole bunch of products in your hair and you go to your barber, you
Yeah.
gonna mess up the clippers. You're gonna mess up his clippers. They're gonna get clogged, and your cut ain't gonna be as clean as it
Exactly.
usually would. When your hair is clean, nice and laid, and your barber combs it out, and you make sure your hair is good before he cuts it. That cut's gonna come out way better than it would if you didn't. I always try to wash the night
Exactly.
before, or if I have time, I'll wash the day of. But usually I
Yeah.
like to do it the night before, so I don't even have to rush myself.
Yeah. And do you suggest that they wash the night before and then wash the day after their haircut?
The day after the
No, I mean the
haircut.
day of the hair, like after the same day after you just get their haircut, they wash again. Do you suggest that?
So what I suggested, I don't know. I've done it, and my haircut's been fine. Like I've washed my hair the day I've got my haircut, and it's been perfectly fine.
Okay.
Now it depends on what you mean by haircut. Because if you mean like a line and a taper, yeah, I'll wash it. But like a full cut, usually me personally, I like to wait like a day or two after to wash my hair. If I get a full like haircut, meaning I cut my hair down, I get a line and a taper and all of that. And the only reason being is because I really like to put in a lot of like dry brushwork right
Yeah.
after a cut. I don't want to get my hair wet. I don't want to have to worry about setting my crown.
Exactly.
So I'm getting in a dry brush session, whether I'm putting in products or not. I'm just brushing my hair like crazy. And then if you want to wash your hair a day or two after, that's perfectly fine. You can also wash the day of too, but me personally, I don't do that.
Okay, so from my experience, what I usually like to tell my beginners, you wash your hair the day before the haircut. The day of the haircut, you go home, do a soft brush session, do not touch the hairline, you don't wash your hair. The next day, you don't wash your hair. Because once you wash your hair, you're going to have to use a medium brush to lay the hair. Unless, you cut down to a 1.5 or a 2,
Mm-hmm.
then, and if you have an event to go to that day, that's the only reason I see you, I really think you want to cut down to 1.5 if you go into an event. You don't want to
Yeah,
wash your hair right after the haircut, after you just got the blackout and everything. Just don't wash your hair that
yeah,
day.
yeah. Don't.
Next day,
No.
the next day I would say don't wash it neither. If you got a lot of little hairs in there, just try to brush them out with the soft brush, and then wash your hair the day after that. So you wash your hair the night before, you get the haircut the next day. You don't wash your hair that day. You don't wash your hair tomorrow. You wash it the next. So it's like 1, 2, I guess
Like
3 days after,
yeah,
2 days after.
yeah. Which is it's pretty reasonable. That's like the timeline I like to. I
Yeah.
do wash my hair a week after.
Oh,
Nah, I
a
can't.
week? Oh,
I
no. See,
personally can't. I
yeah, we're
can't.
not
I
doing
can't.
that.
I can't wait a week.
I
I
say
can't.
2 days.
I
Wash your
can't.
hair 2 days after your haircut,
Mm-hmm.
guys. All my beginners, I say 2 days. Because if you wash it the same day, you just messed up the haircut if you had an event to go to
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
And then if you wash it even if you wash it with, you're going to have to use a medium brush. You don't use a soft brush for your washing styles.
Yeah.
And you're going to scratch up your hairline. You're going to start scabbing up because it's going to irritate your hairline because it's going to be sensitive skin. So I'd say 2 days after the haircut.
I can't believe you said nah, a week. I
Yeah,
can't do it.
yeah, you can't do a week.
Very long
But yeah,
time. But hey, if that worked for you and it
it's
has
crazy,
been,
man.
that's crazy.
A
I've never
week
heard
though?
anybody say they wait a week.
Nah.
That's probably the first time I ever heard somebody say that.
Yeah. I mean, everybody got their
Yeah,
own opinion.
exactly.
They learning. They learning. That's why
Exactly.
we're doing this,
And that's also the one of the biggest takeaways I want people to get from this is everybody's on their own journey. Okay, we're all collectively in the game, but everybody's on their own journey down their
Exactly.
own path, and everybody's gonna experience things in different ways and go about things different ways. So don't feel like you gotta be like the next waiver. You don't have to be the next 360 Gs or the next Cruise or the next Juice, or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. You have your own journey, and that's what makes it unique.
Yep.
Is it's your own, and you have your own process, and that's honestly that's one of the best things about the game to me is being able to show my process to other people and let them know, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, you can achieve great results.
Exactly.
New week. I don't put O's in my hair because I'm 12
Oh,
and
fuck.
I got
I don't know what that got, man. But
oh
yeah,
man.
we're about to end this live, y'all. Hopefully, you guys got a lot of knowledge from this, a lot of value. You got Wavepapi.
Yes, sir.
He told me a lot of stuff that I didn't know about hair porosity and then conditioning and oils and stuff. So before you start waving, guys, beginners, make sure you figure out your hair porosity so that way you could down the line you could get the right products in your hair,
Mm-hmm.
moisturizing like Wavepapi said.
Mm-hmm.
Moisturizing is what Wavepapi would say about moisturizing.
Master your moisturizing
There it
process.
is.
So get it down packed, and I promise you, your process is going to be a lot more better. Hey man, I appreciate it. This it's stuff like that that keeps me
Yes, sir.
going. It's stuff like this that really does keep me
Yep.
going.
And one
But
last question: how long would you tell the beginners to wolf for their first time, like first year?
first
How long
year,
should their wolves be?
how long should they be? Personally, I would say you don't want to go past like 8 weeks.
Exactly, 6 to 8
So
weeks.
six to 8 weeks, yeah,
Yeah,
it's typical. And you because again, consistency matters. So if you're starting your journey out and you brushing, you wolf for 8 weeks, and you cut it down to curl length, and you're brushing again, and you're
exactly. Right.
wolfing,
Just
and you
keep
cut it down
wolfing.
to curl length. Eventually,
Mm-hmm.
again, you're gonna see those connections coming.
Exactly.
You're gonna see that depth coming.
And how many wolf sessions would you tell them minimum they'll break through and get to that elite status? Like how many wolf sessions do they need?
So I would say like 3 to 4 serious
It
wolf
took me
sessions.
7.
7?
7 wolf sessions. And bro, after my 7th wolf session, I went like 14 weeks because I started getting more experience. So I started going up and up. I started with 6 to 8. And then my 7th wolf session, I went 14 weeks. As soon as I cut it down, bro, my hair
Oh
texture
yeah,
changed.
it looked completely different. Yeah,
Changed.
it looked completely
After that
different. It was
7th
that
wolf,
long whoop. That's what it
I
was.
broke through, bro, and went to that elite status. So a
Yeah,
lot of people be
man.
like, how you change your hair texture? Wolf. You got a wolf, man.
Yeah,
And it
trust
takes time.
me.
Yeah.
Look, I have pictures from when I first started.
Exactly,
My hair
right?
looked nothing the way that it does right now. Like my
Yeah.
hair complete. It looks way more coarse back then than it does now.
Exactly, right? Oh,
People
so
in
you
public
coarse or
walk
medium?
past me, huh?
Are you coarse or medium?
I'm like I'm in the middle of medium and coarse.
Like super close to medium?
I would say I'm more close to medium than coarse.
So
So
when you let your hair just grow out, is it a little nappy or is it curly?
I'm telling you, it's a little bit of both, but
A little
it's
bit of
more
both?
curly than it is nappy, personally.
Okay.
So my curls
All right.
they're not super tight, but they're not super loose either. They're like
Gotcha.
in the
Gotcha.
middle. So
So do you have to put anything in here to get that curl, or does naturally, like
no.
if you grow it
So
out?
like if I were to rinse my hair out and just leave it like that, no,
And then tomorrow it's gonna be naturally curly?
Yep.
Okay, mine's gonna be nappy, so that's how I know I'm coarse. Yeah,
But yeah, that's one more thing actually I want to add before
there we go. Let's go.
learn the difference between curl patterns and curl textures because they're two totally different things. So with curl patterns, you got kinky, coily, curly, wavy, and I'll say I don't like saying this, but I'm gonna say it straight. And straight
It's
being
straight.
like yeah, straight.
It's
So you don't
literally
have
straight. So it's literally straight.
and then you have 3 textures. You got fine, medium, and coarse. So fine is your hair is a lot thinner than it usually would be because all the curl pattern is not curl pattern. The curl type is the thickness of the curl. So coarse, all coarse means is your hair is thicker than what it would be if you were medium or fine. And again, you can have mixed textures, you can have mixed curl types, you can have all of that type of stuff. But I would say once your hair starts growing, you start woofing more, you want to identify what type of curl pattern and curl type you have because if you don't, that's also going to hinder your process as well. But usually you can tell if you've had curls before and you see your hair, then you'll typically know what your curl pattern, your curl type is going to be like when you bring that hair down.
And one last question for you to answer. I know the answer, but I want you to tell all the beginners. If you're coarse, super coarse, medium, or straight, can all these textures get waves? And if so, how?
Besides straight, anybody, if you don't have any curls in your hair, you cannot get waves. If you have a curl pattern, you can get waves, but the difference is for somebody who has a naturally tight curl and a looser curl is the length that you wolf. Because it's going to take your curls a lot longer to grow out and lay down versus somebody who's more coarse, their hair is going to already be super curled up. So they'll have waves a lot quicker than somebody who has like a silk type of curl pattern or a wavy department type of curl pattern. It's going to take them a lot longer to get.
Do you think wavy department is straight hair? Without brushing, without nothing. Do you think he's straight?
No, I think his hair is curly.
You got a little bit. So when you say straight, what do you mean by straight? Because I feel like anyone could get waves, honestly.
So when I say straight, I mean your hair does not, like, if you were naturally to wear your hair right now, you would not get no type of curl. It would literally
Just
just
be
be
straight, right? So,
so yeah.
I've seen a couple of people on TikTok. They're like super straight hair, Asians, and all they have waves. They'll probably have two in there, but it waves up, man.
If you personally seen that, I want to see the video
Yeah,
because I've never seen
yeah, they
somebody
be
with
having
like
two waves.
super bone straight hair get waves. I've never personally seen that.
Yeah,
It has to
I see
be
it.
with a
And
curl pattern.
if they do get waves, they'll probably get 2, 3 waves. They're not gonna get as many
Yeah,
waves as we
yeah,
get
no, that's
because our
not.
curls is tighter and
Mm-hmm.
they're just straight. So when you brush, eventually it's gonna when you pull your hair too
Hey,
much.
happy birthday, Alvin.
Yeah, when you pull your hair, a lot, right? It kind of recoils back over time.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the straighter your hair is, the less waves you have. If you have super duper straight hair and you brush all the time, you might get 2, 3 waves in there, but they could get waves, man. I've seen it.
You might get some dents, but they ain't gonna hold nowhere.
Yeah,
No curl. You ain't got no curls, so it ain't locking into nothing. You're not laying anything down. It's on. Honestly, your hair is just super long. That's what it is.
you know,
Usually,
if y'all don't think y'all can get waves, I say still brush, man. If you're a straight hair waver, you're white and you feel like you're Caucasian, you feel like you can't get waves, at least brush for 2 months and see if you get 1 or 2 in there. If you really want waves, nobody's stopping you. Brush. Put your do-rag on when you're going to sleep. Make sure you save that progress. Go back in the morning, brush again.
so you
And
think Justin Bieber can get
yeah,
waves if you
yeah,
burn it out? Nah, I
yes.
don't think that. I
Bro, if
personally don't
if
think that.
look, if you cut down to a 1.5 and start from like a straight scalp, and then
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks later start brushing every single day with a medium brush and wolf and do washing styles and keep us doing, bro, he gonna get 2 waves, 2 to 3 waves in there, bro. I
Oh
think he can.
man.
I've seen it.
Again,
I've seen it,
I need
bro.
to see
I
the proof
if
in the pudding.
if I see
I've
one,
never
I'm gonna
seen.
send it to you. I've been
Okay,
seeing him on TikTok.
I'm gonna react to it because I want to see if this is actually, and if it is, I will gladly give you your props. I will gladly do that. But
Yes,
until
sir.
I see the proof, no, I can't bend on that yet.
Yeah, man. But yeah, y'all, if you got any hair texture you want to try to get waves, get your brush and start brushing. You feel me? Then you start seeing some progress. But yeah, we're gonna have to end this live right here, guys. This is kind of like a podcast, or I don't know what you want to call it.
Honestly,
It's like
no,
a whole hour long.
I like the podcast idea. I'm
Yeah,
kind of getting into stuff like that, so that's something I thought about.
yeah. I made a whole new channel, man. It's gonna be strictly waves. So I'm gonna start talking to people, other waivers, so we could try to help the beginners out a little bit. I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna take this video and try to upload it on my YouTube as well.
No, no,
And
that's perfectly fine. You
got you,
got it.
got you. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna just title it "How to Get Waves to Beginners," something like that, just for the
Mhm.
beginners to watch something.
Okay.
And yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Y'all go check out wavepapi.com. Get your moisture, not what is it?
Conditioner.
Conditioner